calling the law students.
You know that the team will do that, not us.
I know. Before you talk to them, you should have had more than 43. You got 86.
Yeah, 86. I prepared the program, my God. A special welcome to all of our guests who have come to grace this occasion, the 105th Commencement Convocation exercise of the University of Liberia. Thank you all for coming. And those of you who are our graduates, we kindly ask that you please remain in your seats. Kindly remain in your seats. Kindly remain in your seats. The procession is about to begin. Just be patient. Your patience will yield a fruitful result. Just be patient. Members of the Fourth Estate, please position yourselves orderly and that you will not blur the vision of another person who wants to get a clear glance of today's occasion. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Today, the University of Liberia graduates 469 candidates from 9 professional and graduate programs. The Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law graduates 86 candidates. The M. Doherty School of Medicine graduates 40 candidates. The School of Pharmacy graduates 49 candidates. The School of Public Health graduates 9 candidates. The Graduate Program in Education graduates 16 candidates. The Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida Graduate Program in International Studies graduates 45 candidates. The Graduate Program in Business and Public Administration graduates 190 candidates. The Graduate Program in Regional Science graduates 5 candidates. The Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation graduates 4 candidates. And the Graduate Program in Environmental Science, Climate Change, and Biodiversity graduates 25 candidates. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Just be patient. Mr. Alex Caesar, I hope you are well positioned. Madam is about to begin. The air will go down. All right. I didn't have depending on to give me the information. I don't know what he Ladies and gentlemen, our graduates, the program is being carried live on all your platforms. The Lux Radio, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp channel. UA Relations is doing extremely well. Thank you to UA Relations. Thank you for a well-coordinated program. I want to say that the 9 programs from our graduate and professional schools will be conferring degrees on 469 candidates few hours from now. And so just be patient, relax. Today is a jubilant day for you. Each of you seated in your seats, each of you who is done with your academicals, today is a jubilant day for you, so rejoice. The Louis Arthur Graham School of Law, the A.M. Doherty School of Medicine, the School of Pharmacy, the School of Public Health, the Graduate Program in Education, the RBB Graduate Program in International Studies, the Graduate Program in Business and Public Administration, the Graduate Program in Regional Science, the Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation, and the Graduate Program in Environmental Science, Climate Change, and Biodiversity. These are the academic programs that are presenting before us 469 candidates who will be conferred with various degrees. When you shall have left the words, it is our hope and prayers that you will be a bright representative of the University of Liberia. Congratulations to all of you. Your time will soon be here. Your time has already come, so don't worry. It has come. This is the day the Lord has made, and so let us rejoice and be glad in it. Marshal Caesar, when you are ready, let us know. Our platform guests, we say welcome again. We want to make sure that all of you who are seated on the dial have the program in your hand. Hope you have the program with you. Representative Goso, I'm not seeing your program. They give you some? So I can go for more. Okay. Senator Maggie, do you have some? Okay. I don't need to add Representative Koto. He has some. He got more. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. AFL band? The AFL marching band, UF marching band, the signal has been given. The 105th Commencement Convocation exercise on the Fender campus of the University of Liberia, February 27, 2026. Fender campus, Louisiana, Montserrat County, Republic of Liberia. Members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia. Let it be known to all that this program has been carried live on all platforms of the University of Liberia. Lux Radio, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and our WhatsApp channel. Mother Josephine Ross is the marshal, leading members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia. The Board of Trustees has been led by its chairman, Senator Honorable Nimna T.H. Batikwa. Members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia. Madam Josephine Ross is the marshal. We say the Board of Trustees has been led by its chair, Honorable Numinen T.H. Batikwa Sr. We see the former president of the University of Liberia, Professor Asa Conde. We see the Secretary General of the Board of Trustees, Martin Penning. We see member of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Richard B. Fowler. As a member of the Board of Trustees, Honorable Thomas Romeo Quia. The members, and we see the Commissioner of Higher Education, Dr. Cecilia Castle, Dr. Augustine Conner, Madam Cynthia Blanford, and Dr. Barker Robertson. As the chair of the board is taking his own time, marching firmly, quietly, humble chair of the board, Senator Numinen T.H. Batikwa, you are welcome to this 105th Commencement Convocation exercise. You are welcome, sir. Here comes the president of the University of Liberia and Assistant Professor Sonny Keselebori is bearing the mace from the College of Agriculture and Forestry of the University of Liberia. Alex Caesar, the Marshal, leading the president of the University of Liberia. The president of the University of Liberia, Professor Dr. Lady Mapaya. Your Excellency, Joseph Newman Boaka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia and visitor of the University of Liberia. Dr. Bori, Kesali Bori, bears the maize. Shall we arise? Shall we arise, please? Members of the platform, guests, our graduates, well-wishers, shall we all stand as the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Newman Boaka Sr. marches on this 105th Commencement Convocation exercise of the University of Liberia. Those to be conferred with honorary doctorate degrees today during this 105th Commencement Convocation exercise are Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana, almost Sarah Beslo-Nyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Liberia, and Madam Cynthia Blanford. Three of them will be conferred with honorary doctorate degree today. Your Excellency, President Joseph Newman Boaka, you are welcome to this 105th Commencement Convocation exercise of the University of Liberia. Dr. Norris, you are welcome. Thank you. Please remain standing as the President of the Republic of Liberia marches onto the podium. Please remain standing. Please remain standing. The 105th Commencement Convocation exercise held on February 27, 2026 on the Fender campus of the University of Liberia. I am Assistant Professor Robert Ewia, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning of the University of Liberia. I want to welcome you to this Commencement Convocation exercise. Let me invite to this podium Reverend Samuel F. Agbasen from Student Affairs, who will offer us our invocation. Shall we remain standing, please?
Good morning. Jeremiah 29:11 is one of my favorite verses in the Bible. It says, "For I know the thought that I think towards you, thought of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." We've come to celebrate those graduating today. Kindly join me to pray. Our God and our Father, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the ancient of days, the rock of Gibraltar, the God who knows the intent of every man's heart. We've come to say thank you as a family. We say thank you for our president, His Excellency, President Joseph Newman Boaka. We thank you for the Republic of Liberia. Thank you for where you are taking this republic. Thank you for our president, the president, Professor Dr. Lady Mapaya. Thank you for the university family. As we celebrate today as family, we pray that you come and take your seat. Thank you for providing guardian angels. We bless you. We thank you This is our prayer, we pray. In Jesus' name.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you, Reverend Agbasin. At this juncture, we want to recognize few of our guests, our platform guests. Dr. Rome Houghton of Cotton University and all of the presidents of our various university present. We want to recognize the presence of our former president and just recent acting president, Professor Ahassan Conte of the University of Liberia, Senator Nathaniel L. Magee, the chair on education in the Senate, is from Margibi County. Honorable Momo Siafakoto, represented District Number 3, Lofa County. Honorable Thomas A. Goswa II, Representative District Number 5, Grand Bassa County. All of our academic directors and deans, and our invited guests, our faculty members, and our special honorees for today's occasion. Our honorees include Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana. You are welcome. Honorable Sarah Beslow Nyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia. She will also be honored. And Madam Cynthia Blanford will also be honored. You all are welcome. Thank you very much. The University of Liberia Chorus, directed by Anthony R. Law, Prince A. Decker, will now lead us in an enthusiastic and patriotic singing of the Lone Star Forever, the UA Chorus. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Let's give them a thunderous applause. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, UF Chorus. The Alumni Association is also combining with the UF Chorus to give us some melodies today. More guests are coming. We also want to recognize the presence of Dr. Cecilia Cassel, Commissioner, Director General of the Commission on Higher Education, will also grace in this occasion. It is now my unique pleasure to introduce to you Asatu Jeba of the Graduate and Professional School in the IBB graduate program in International Studies, who also scored the highest cumulative grade point, 3.788 of all the graduates of our 8 graduate programs and 3 professional schools. Mana Asatu Ba, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia and visitor of the University of Liberia. Her Excellency Madam Sarah Beslo Nyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of Cabinet. Honorable Senator nominee T.H. Batikwa, Chairman, Board of Trustees, University of Liberia, and members of the Board of Trustees here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps here present, Dr. Lily Maparian, President of the University of Liberia, members of the House of Senate and Representatives here present, Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor, Botswana University and keynote speaker, heads of international organizations here present, devoted families, loyal friends, exceptional professors, and to the extraordinary 105th graduating class of Triumph. This message is for you. Standing here today as your valedictorian is an honor I accept with deep gratitude. But this achievement does not belong to one voice. It belongs to a chorus of sacrifices made quietly at home, of professors who gave more than the syllabus required, of classmates who refused to let one another fall behind. Today is not a solo performance. It is a shared victory. Our journey to this stage was not accidental. It was carved through pressure, persistence, and purpose. And if I were to describe the spirit of the 105th graduating class, I would define it through 3 defining forces: endurance, commitment, and vision. Endurance, the discipline of showing up. Success rarely announces itself with applause. More often, it whispers in the background of long nights, early mornings, and unseen effort. Endurance is rewriting the paper you thought was finished. It is studying when sleep feels more inviting mountain. It is balancing responsibility no one else sees. Jobs, family obligations, financial pressure, and still arriving prepared. We were tested. Trust me, we were tested. There were semesters that stressed us, deadlines that stuck high, moments when doubt sat heavier than confidence. Yet what distinguished this class is simple. We kept showing up. Not perfectly, not effortlessly, but consistently, we kept showing up. Endurance taught us that excellence is not a single achievement. It is a pattern, a habit, a decision repeated daily. Talent will open the first door. Discipline keeps it from closing. Life beyond this campus will not suddenly soften, but we now possess something invaluable. Proof that we can withstand pressure and still perform. That resilience will outlast any title printed on a diploma. Commitment, the power of staying. Commitment is about staying, especially when enthusiasm fades. There were days when inspiration ran low, days when distractions were louder than our responsibilities. Days when self-doubt asks uncomfortable questions. Commitment is answering those questions with action. It is choosing responsibility over convenience, consistency over comfort, and growth over ease. Our professors embodied commitment. They prepared, encouraged, corrected, and believed sometimes long before we believed in ourselves. Our families demonstrated commitment through sacrificing long hours, financial strain, constant encouragement, and unwavering presence. And as classmates, we practiced commitment together. We studied in groups. We celebrated one another's win. We supported each other's setback. We competed, but we also collaborated. The world often celebrates speed, quick result, instant recognition, but true distinction belongs to those who endure the process long after the excitement fades. Let us be known not just for ambition, but for following through. Not just for ideas, but for execution. Because commitment transforms potential into achievement, vision sees beyond the present. Vision is clarity about who you are becoming. When we first entered the University of Liberia Graduate School and Professional Studies, we carried potential. Over time, that potential sharpened into purpose. Some discover a calling in international studies, others in public health, environmental science, business administration, public administration, medicine, and law, among others. Vision asks deeper questions. Who are you becoming? What impact will you make? And what values will guide you? Not just what job will you hold, but what difference will you leave? The world we enter is dynamic. Industries evolve. Technology advances. Changes emerge daily. Yet what remains constant is the need for people who can imagine what does not yet exist. Visionaries do not wait for perfect timing. They create movements. They design solutions. They build bridges where others see barriers. Your experiences, your struggles, your culture, your resilience are not obstacles. They are advantages. They shape a perspective no one else can replicate. Protect your vision, refine it, feed it, and defend it. History reminds us that every breakthrough began as an idea someone refused to abandon. Your dream is not random, it is responsibility in disguise. The legacy of the 105th graduating class. We inherit a legacy, but we also redefine it. We are more than transcripts, medals, and honors. We are a generation shaped by perseverance, unity, and bold imagination. Years from now, we may forget the exact assignments or exam questions, but we will remember the transformation, the growth, the friendships formed in libraries and lecture halls, the lessons that extended far beyond textbooks. Trust me, today is not an ending, it is ignition. To our parents and guardians, thank you for believing in outcomes you could not yet see. To our professors and administrators, thank you for demanding excellence and refusing to lower the bar. To my fellow graduates, as we move into careers, services, advanced studies, entrepreneurship, and new territories of life, let us carry forward the three forces that shaped us. Endurance, so we rise when challenged. Commitment, so we finish what we begin. And vision, so our steps are intentional. To the 105th graduating class, we are prepared. Not because the road ahead is guaranteed to be smooth, but because we have proven that we can navigate challenges through courage. Let us move boldly. Let us move with confidence. And let us move with purpose. Congratulations, 105th graduating class of triumph. May our effort remain steadfast, our commitment unbreakable, and our vision expansive. Thank you, and may we not continue to only succeed, but also triumph. I thank you all.
That is not enough for such an inspiring speech. Let's continue the applause. Let's continue the applause. Thank you very much. Thank you, Asatu. That was inspiring. That was challenging. That was courageous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this juncture, we'd invite to the podium the president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lady Mapanyan, who will now bring the president's address. Thank you.
Good morning. Your Excellency, Joseph Numa Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and visitor of the University of Liberia. Honorable Jeremiah Pan Kung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. His Honor, Yami Kwekwe Bese Sr., the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. Honorable Richard Nagbe Kun, Speaker and members of the House of Representatives. Honorable Nyambli Karanga Lawrence, President Pro Tem and members of the Liberian Senate. Former government officials present. Honorable Numene T.H. Bartikwa, Chairman and members of the UL Board of Trustees. Honorable Dr. Jarso Mali Jala, Minister of Education and member ex officio of the Board of Trustees. Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana, and commencement speaker for the 105th Convocation, along with your esteemed delegation. Colleague presidents and special representatives of the Association of Liberian Universities, former presidents of the University of Liberia, Professor Dr. Cecilia M. Cassell, Director General, National Commission on Higher Education, Your Excellency, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Dean and members of the Liberian Cabinet, distinguished officials of government here present, Dr. Fatima Greaves Kwekwe, National President of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, Mr. Charles Russell, Director of the University of Liberia Alumni Chorus, Attorney Martin Willapeni, Acting President and members of the University of Liberia Alumni Association, Dr. Edna Johnny, President and members of the University of Liberia Faculty Association, Mr. D. Preston and members of the University of Liberia Staff Association, Mrs. J. Blio Tingban, President, University of Liberia Student Interim Leadership, and fellow also members, Mr. Jamal J. Gosen, valedictorian of the UL Undergraduate Colleges, and Mrs. Asatu Jaloba, valedictorian of our graduate and professional schools, Mr. Abraham T. Nula, President and members of the 105th graduating class, and Mr. Prince N. Johnson, President and members of the 105th graduate and professional school class, Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor, Vice President for Academic Affairs and members of the UL Cabinet, Doyen and members of the Dean's Council, members of the Faculty Senate and Administrative Council, students of the University of Liberia, parents, guardians, supporters, relatives, friends, and well-wishers of our graduates and graduands, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at this time to welcome each and every one of you to this extraordinary 105th Commencement Convocation, the Naniga Balugima class, an expression from the Loma vernacular meaning class of triumph of this flagship national university, a University of Liberia, the birthplace of leaders. I wish to thank Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana, for consenting to serve as our keynote speaker for today's occasion. Mr. Vice Chancellor, we want you to know that your words of encouragement, inspiration, and wisdom will resonate deeply with us and with the entire university family during this festive occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, our tradition requires that the president of the university gives an account of the status of the university at our commencement convocation. I beg your indulgence as I fulfill this requirement as the 16th president of the University of Liberia. This commencement is as extraordinary and historic as our previous commencements. We are proudly putting out and presenting to our country men and women who have been well-trained, well-disciplined, and are highly motivated and fit to join the workforce, ready to make meaningful contributions to the development of our country, Liberia. This convocation is also extraordinary for the following reasons. It is my first as the 16th president of the University of Liberia, after experiencing a busy and fulfilling year at the helm of leadership. It is happening concurrently with UL's 75th anniversary celebration, our Diamond Jubilee, marking 3/4 of a century as a chartered national university born in 1951 from the historic Liberia College. It is also the first convocation to yield associate degree holders through our partnership with the Booker Washington Institution. This partnership was precipitated by our predecessors championed by great academics like former Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Moses Nzena, and others. Thanks to the leadership and vision by Dr. Nancy T. Freeman, principal of BWI, who has worked collaboratively with us in ensuring that we reap the results of this partnership. Let me extend my profound gratitude and appreciate to the visitor, His Excellency President Joseph Numa Boakai, Sr., and the government of Liberia, the House and Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning for their continuous support to the sustenance of the University of Liberia and for ensuring that quality and affordable education is provided for the young people of Liberia, appropriate budgetary allocations, and other meaningful support. Let me also extend sincere thanks to the 105th Commencement Convocation Planning and Implementation Committee led by the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor, and members of the 105th Convocation Committee for a job well done in planning and executing our undergraduate commencement convocation held on Wednesday, February 25th. I say again, bravo for the hard work. Thanks also to the joint UL Chorus, including the University of Liberia Chorus, led by attorney Prince A. Decker, and the University of Liberia Alumni Chorus, led by Director James Milton Weeks Jr., especially for hosting the grand fundraiser concert on Monday, February 23rd. Also thanks to the UL Marching Band, the AFL Band, the UL Police headed by Colonel Joe Dennis, and the Liberia National Police for the continual cooperation with the University of Liberia, especially in making this day a colorful success. On behalf of the UL administration, we also express our heartfelt thanks to the University of Liberia Student Interim Leadership, headed by Bleo Tingban and her corps of officers, for serving as the bridge between the students and the administration over the past academic year. We extend similar thanks to county-based associations, college associations, religious associations, and other clubs and organizations that play such a key role in fostering peace and unity on our campus. Thanks also to the President's Student Advisory Council that has always kept me informed throughout the year. Let me extend gratitude and appreciation to the chairman of our board, Honorable Numene T.H. Bartikwa, as well as to the officers and members of the UL Board of Trustees for successfully working along with the UL administration in the governance of our dear university. I thank you so much. Appreciation also goes to the trustees of Donation for Education in Liberia, known as TDEL, based in Boston, Massachusetts in the United States, and its leadership for the continuous support in managing the University of Liberia's endowment and its annual contribution of funding to the UL Library and other strategic initiatives at UL. Finally, my appreciation goes to our Alumni Association and its diaspora member groups that have steered the affairs of the association both at home and abroad. We are grateful and appreciative of your involvement in the life of your alma mater and pledge to continuously work with you as we together pursue the mission and vision of the University of Liberia. We particularly appreciate the delegations from the USA, led by Dr. Fatima Greaves-Kwekwe and Mr. Charles Russell, who have come to not only celebrate the UL's 75th anniversary with us, but to join us in fundraising support to support infrastructure development and performing arts at the university. Your support and efforts are deeply appreciated, and we pledge to continue the collaboration in furtherance of our strategic vision as the nation's premier institution of higher learning. Platform guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, an outstanding and remarkable honors, scholars, research symposium was held on Tuesday, the 17th of February, 2026, under the guidance of the College of Gender Studies and Interdisciplinary Research. This symposium reminded us of the power and necessity of research, in our quest for progress, inclusive growth, and sustainable development. It showed how our students are being guided into developing their research capacity and their ability to explore the unknown in solving human problems, especially right here in our beloved country, Liberia. On Monday, February 23rd, we celebrated with our College of Health Sciences, wherein a total of 89 candidates took an oath that officially admitted them into medical practice. The Oaths and Honors program included 40 new medical doctors from the School of Medicine and 49 PharmDs from the School of Pharmacy. Yes. Imagine how many more Liberian patients will now be served thanks to UL education. We also celebrated on Thursday, February 19th, at a faculty scholastic recognition program, a total of 81 faculty members who published books, peer-reviewed journal articles and book chapters, and conference proceedings within the past academic year. This number included 7 professors, 5 associate professors, 16 assistant professors, and 2 adjunct professors, and 51 instructors. This annual recognition and honoring is intended to encourage and motivate research and scholarly publications by members of the university family. Our undergraduate college's graduation was held on Wednesday, February 25th, and Joseph Jamal Gosen of the Department of Biological Sciences of the T.J.R. Faulkner College of Science, Technology, Environment, and Climate Change was the Dux and Torchbearer for the undergraduate college's celebration on that day. We salute him. Today, we congratulate Aissatou J. Ba, a student from the Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida IBB Graduate School of International Studies, who is today's graduate and professional school valedictorian. Let's give her again a hand of applause. We are proud of you both for standing up as you have done throughout your academic career, which now culminates in your graduating with the highest honors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to report to you some of our major accomplishments for the past academic year, which has been quite eventful. After a successful installation of the 16th president on January 10th, 2025, in February, we adopted a new regularized academic calendar with 2 16-week terms and a vacation school. UL's academic year now officially begins in August and ends in July, aligning it with global norms that will facilitate smoother transition to graduate school, especially for students and faculty who study abroad. This new calendar will also make it easier for UL's researchers to collaborate with researchers at other universities and for UL students to participate in international internships and exchange programs. We made several gains with regard to infrastructure this year. In March, the World Bank and the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority handed over 2 new buildings for the Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture Sciences, a classroom building and a hostel, significantly enlarging the footprint of the agriculture campus at Fendel and providing new classroom and lab space. In June, with the facilitation of the UL Student Interim Leadership, UL secured an agreement with the Ministry of Health for a brand new PHC1 student health clinic on the Capitol Hill campus, and construction is currently underway. In August, we signed a major multi-year MOU with UNDP, one element of which is to construct a new innovation building at UL's Fendel campus. In September, we achieved an historic agreement with Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation to collaborate with UL on water and sewer rehabilitation and bathroom renovation for all 4 of UL's campuses. In October, we started construction on the Solar Oasis Student Utility Park at Fendel campus, a 1-acre, state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly complex containing a mini student center with 24-hour electricity and 24-hour Wi-Fi, clean drinking water fountains for refillable water bottles, and 26 new bathrooms, including several that are accessible to people with disabilities, all fully powered by industrial-level solar energy. This complex also contains a utility house for the solar machinery and water equipment, an agrovoltaic research plot, and a security booth, all situated within a relaxing park-like setting. Last but not least, construction of the Lux printing press building, also at Fendel, is nearly complete. On the academic side, UL launched its third PhD program, Gender and Security Studies, in March. In collaboration with the University Consortium for Liberia, UL secured 10 slots for UL computer science faculty and Office of Information Technology staff to participate in the free Georgia Tech online master's program in computer science. In June through August, we ran a successful vacation school pilot project that enabled many of the undergraduates who graduated on Wednesday to achieve that outcome. And the lessons we learned during that pilot will enable us to refine the delivery of vacation school next time that it is offered. In July, UL signed a student transfer MOU with the Forestry Training Institute, allowing associate degree graduates of that renowned technical school to enter the UL School of Forestry as sophomores. In partnership with UNDP, we are building a timely new master's program in AI and cybersecurity. Yes, in August, we signed an MOU with NPhil, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, to advance training for health science students. In November, we launched a new cassava farm project on the Fendel campus agricultural plot that will serve as a practicum site for agriculture students, as well as a source of agricultural revenue for the university. In October, UL hosted an international team of bird watchers from SCNL at the UL Lakeview Wetlands for the October Big Day Citizen Scientist and Ornithological International Bird Count. And just last week, UL Forestry faculty and students participated in a bird ringing exercise with partners from the United Kingdom. In December, UL's new psychology department was officially established. UL's study leave program yielded 2 new PhD faculty within the last academic year. 40 faculty are currently studying abroad, 21 for PhDs, 16 for master's degrees, and 3 for bachelor's degrees. One challenge we identified is a lack of gender balance in those taking advantage of this opportunity, with males outnumbering females approximately 7-to-1. We were fortunate to bring financial stabilization to nearly all participants, but we discovered the need to create stronger policy around the program, which are tasks for the year ahead. Although we lost some grants in January 2025, we also gained a number of grants over the period, including a $50,000 grant from UNDP for strategic planning, a $68,208 gift from the trustees of donations for education in Liberia for the UL libraries and the Liberian History Project, as well as numerous research and implementation grants in the School of Environmental Science, the College of Health Sciences, the FBC Center, and elsewhere. We received donations of outdoor solar lamps from the UL Alumni Association in the Americas, the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency, and the UL Board of Trustees member, Senator Prince Tolles. These now illuminate the preclinical health sciences campus at Fendel and the parking lot of the graduate school at Capitol Hill, respectively. We attracted hundreds of classroom chair donations and pledges from diverse donors, including Watana, the Voices of the Elders, Operation Seat UL, the National Port Authority, the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, the UL Student Interim Leadership, and the 104th graduating class Economics Department students. Across the year, we attracted donations and in-kind support for UL bathroom renovation from numerous people and organizations, including Speaker Richard Nagbe-Kun in collaboration with also the UL Golden Class of 2001, Exity Engineering Solutions, and Miss Inter-University Liberia, Queen Vashi Wia. In terms of exciting student achievements, UL accounting major Vashiwia just mentioned was crowned Queen of the Miss Inter-University Liberia 2025 pageant for a one-year term last March. In May, UL economics student Wilmot D. Rayleigh won the EU Day Poetry competitions. This January, Rayleigh and a team of 6 other UL students won the Nigerian-sponsored Economic Impact Challenge. UL's track team brought home the big trophy in May. In December, the UL Debate Society led valedictorian Jamal Gosen won the prestigious awards at the Pan-African University's Debate Championship in South Africa, crowning a string of debate team awards accrued across the course of the year. A President's Student Advisory Council was established in September to bring approximately 25 diverse student leaders together with the UL President monthly. In terms of administrative and staff achievements, in July, UL launched the new Office of Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, or OGWE, which was created to accelerate the achievement of gender parity in UL student body and faculty, as well as to foster the conditions supporting the success of female students and faculty at UL. In September, UL's second female dean of the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law, Dr. Cindy Nevada Ricks Onuaha, was appointed. Also in September, UL signed an MOU with the Intellectual Property Office of Liberia to upgrade UL's intellectual property protection frameworks and training programs. In August, UL hosted U.S. Senator Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock at a book launch event in collaboration with International Focus magazine. In fact, UL also hosted several book launch events by Liberian authors over the past year. One of the most important achievements of the year was the drafting of a 5-year strategic plan for the University of Liberia that covers infrastructural transformation, academic research enhancement, administrative reorganization, accelerating student success, and initiatives to support social inclusion and disability accessibility at UL. To support the realization of this plan, an institutional advancement unit has been established to support fundraising that supplements the generous and foundational subsidy from the government of Liberia. We look forward to all that lies ahead as we continue to pursue the published development goal of achieving top 300 in Africa ranking status for the University of Liberia, if not even better. Mr. President, Your Excellency, when you appointed me to the UL presidency just over 1 year ago, I met many profound challenges to the fulfillment of UL's fundamental mission to provide an excellent education to the university-bound citizens of the Republic of Liberia. Systematically since my arrival, I have attacked these challenges one by one in concert with many able lieutenants committed to the same goals we share: education, effectiveness, efficiency, excellence, and ethics, the so-called 5 E's. Thank you for your ongoing trust and support as we continue this journey of overtaking the challenges one by one and transforming UL to the 21st century best-in-class flagship university that the Republic of Liberia deserves. I salute you. Honorable visitor, chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, excellencies, presidents of institutions of higher learning, platform guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today we announce 294 graduates from our graduate schools, 40 graduates from our medical school, 49 graduates from our School of Pharmacy, and 86 graduates from the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law. We appreciate and congratulate a grand total of 1,724 graduates, including our various colleges and BWI on Wednesday and today. We are aware that the challenges have ranged far and wide for all, including faculty, staff, administrators, and students. But we remain grateful that the Almighty God for the perseverance and discipline to remain focused until we reach this landmark of the 105th Commencement Convocation. Members of this 105th graduating class, class of triumph. It has been said wisely that the success of our society and our democracy rests upon our willingness to think of each other, not only ourselves. My hope and expectation is that each and every one of you will embrace this principle personally, that you will step up in your communities, wherever they may be, that you will take on the solemn responsibility of leadership. You are specially qualified to take on this role by virtue of the knowledge you have gained from your UL education, combined with the tradition of civic engagement that goes to the heart of UL's identity, a tradition so many of you have embraced directly. Graduates of the 105th class, today you stand at the intersection of history and destiny. Like I said to your undergraduate colleagues on Wednesday, you are our diamonds because you have gone through the refining process, pressure, heat, and time. You have traversed the journey from rough gemstones to precious jewels, and you are now Liberia's true wealth. You inherit the sacrifices of those who built this great institution, the University of Liberia, and you carry forward the hopes of this nation. Liberia looks to you for integrity, innovation, and impact. Let your degree earned today not merely be a certificate on the wall, but let it be a living commitment to serve, lead, and uplift. The road ahead will not always be easy, but remember that character is forged in challenge and greatness is revealed in perseverance. Go forward with courage, anchored in your values, confident in your preparation, and determined to leave every community you touch better than you found it. The future is not something you wait for. Rather, it is something you build. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now pay homage to some members of the university family who departed the world during the course of this academic year. Please let us observe silence while I read the names. Library Assistant Teresa B. Lauber. Landscaper Jusu Johnson. Assistant Professor Abu B. Kamara. Instructor Felasu Soare. Assistant Professor Tuaple Fano Dor. Instructor J. Nima Wart. Assistant Professor Christiana Asma. Driver Morris Kane. Landscaper Samuel Wesse. Maintenance Officer Varney G. Fanbala. Landscaper Saki Bono. Patrolman Robert K. Sumo. Ambulance Driver James K. Harris. Maintenance Officer Esther Moba. Assistant Professor John Josiah. Former Dean Stephen Mosio Jubwe Sr. Instructor Glasgow Tokba. And Supervisor J. Nimli Japa. Please, let us observe a moment of silence to honor their memories. May their souls rest in peace forever and ever. And to us, the living, may God continue to bless the works of our hands. Thank you very much to all. Congratulations again to our wonderful graduates, and may God bless the university and the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
That is not enough. Please give another hand of applause to the President for such an inspiring speech. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Dr. Mapayan. At this juncture, we now invite a representative of the Association of Liberian Universities to be followed by the Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education, who will now give us special greetings respectively. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You're sleeping? Good afternoon. Now there's the class of triumph. His Excellency, Dr. Joseph Yuma Boyka Senior, President of our great republic, Honorable Sarah Baslo Yenti, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Numinin Bakata, Senior Chairperson of the Board of Trustees and members of the Board of Trustees of this institution, my sister president, Dr. Lily Mapayan, Professor Dr. David Norris, Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana and commencement speaker for today, Dr. Cecilia Cassell, Executive Director, NCHE, all universities and colleges present here today, honorable members of the government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, class of 2025. Warm greetings from the Association of Liberian Universities. On behalf of the association, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the University of Liberia on its 105th Commencement Convocation. To the graduating class of 2025, the class of triumph. You now represent the pinnacle of academic achievement. As you receive your degrees, you are charged with burdens unsurpassed. You use your expertise not just for personal advancement, but as a catalyst for the national transformation. Liberia needs your scholarship. Liberia needs your research. Liberia needs your professional skills. We are indeed proud of your resilience and dedication. As you go forth to become the leaders of our nation, remember, you are now the standard bearers of your fields. As you leave these halls, remember that your education is a tool to solve national problems. Remember, as you leave these halls, you are supposed to inspire, impact, and transform. Remember, as you leave these halls, you are to love Liberia, think Liberia, build Liberia, and most importantly, protect Liberia. As you leave these halls, be the change that you want to see. Be the change that should be the change. We wish you success in all your future endeavors. The world is out there. Go out and make a difference in this world, especially in our Liberia. Class of triumph. Are you ready to be triumphant? You ain't even ready, Seth. Class of triumph. Are you ready to be triumphant? Thank you very much. Congratulations, and go out and build Liberia. Thank you.
Hello?
Your Excellency, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boaka Senior, President of the University of Liberia, Honorable Jasso Male Jala, Minister of Education and Chairperson, Board of Commissioners, National Commission on Higher Education, Minister Sarah Beslo Nyanti, Dean of the Cabinet and other members of the Cabinet present, Dr. Lady Makpayan, President of the University of Liberia, Professor David Norris, President of Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana and commencement speaker for this year commencement, members of the diplomatic corps present, vice presidents of the University of Liberia, members, distinguished platform guests, proud parents, members of the press, our writing class, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and profound responsibility to address you today as the Executive Director of the National Commission on Higher Education at this historic moment of achievement and transformation. A university graduation is not merely a ceremonious completion of academic requirements. It is a national milestone. It presents the renewal of intellectual capital and signals the advancement of a country development premise. Higher education occupies central position in shaping the social economic path of any nation. In an increasingly knowledge-driven global landscape, national competitiveness, innovation capacity, and long-term prosperity depends significantly on the cultivation of highly skilled, ethical, grounded, and forward-thinking workforce. Universities are not simply centers of instruction. They are engines of transformation. They prepare professionals who design our infrastructure, who heals our communities, educate our children, manage our institutions, and govern our republic. Yet, as we celebrate progress, we must also acknowledge reality. Liberia's higher education system continues to navigate long-standing structural constraints, even as it confronts emerging opportunities. Instructional quality remains uneven, infrastructure deficit persists, and many institutions operate with limited physical facility, insufficient access to modern teaching and research technology, and constraints with financial resources. These challenges are real, and they demand deliberate and sustained action. For this reason, strengthening higher education sector is not optional, it is imperative. A resilient and inclusive society requires a robust policy framework that guarantees quality, accessibility, relevance, and align with national development priorities. Regulation in this context is not an impediment to growth. Rather, it safeguards standards and guarantees public trust. In Liberia, the National Commission on Higher Education serves as the principal regulatory and coordinating body for the higher education sector. At this critical juncture in our institutional evolution, the Commission is advancing comprehensive reform agenda. This agenda is designed to strengthen governance structure, deepen quality assurance mechanism, enhance credibility, accreditation process, and ensure that academic programs remain responsive to Liberia's development drive. These reforms reflect unwavering commitment to the government of the Republic of Liberia to build a higher education system that is resilient, equitable, competitive, and inclusive, one that supports sustainable growth and human capital development across all disciplines and at every post-secondary level in the Republic of Liberia. Importantly, with these challenges lie immense opportunity. Liberia's growing youth population has intensified the demand for tertiary education and professional training. At the same time, national development priorities increasingly emphasize the need for technical expertise, scientific advancement, entrepreneurial capacity, and ethical public leadership. This is not a moment of discouragement. It is a moment for strategic responsibility. In this evolving context, the role of the National Commission on Higher Education is both strategic and transformative. Through rigorous enforcement of standards, systematic accreditation, continuous monitoring and evaluation, and the promotion of institutional accountability, the Commission works to ensure that higher education institutions operate with credibly and deliver measurable quality outcomes. Our oversight provides assurance to the students, employers, government, and the broader public, ensuring them that the degree we award in the Republic of Liberia carry integrity, relevance, and substance. Today, graduation is evident that despite constraints, progress is being made. It affirms that institutions such as the University of Liberia continue to fulfill their mandates in nurturing talents and shaping national leadership. Now, Mr. President, permit me to speak to the graduating class. Dear graduates, today you have crossed the defining threshold. You are no longer a student at the University of Liberia. You are now the steward of Liberia's future. Your degree are not papers for display. They are instruments of service. They carry with them both privilege and responsibility. You have persevered through academic rigors, institutional limitations, and national challenges. That perseverance has prepared you not only for employment, but for leadership. Liberia does not merely need job seekers. She needs problem solvers. She needs innovators who will expand economic activities, educators who will raise the standard, health professionals who will strengthen the public health system, engaged engineers who will modernize our city, and civil servants who will govern with transparency and integrity. Go forth, therefore, with competence. Sorry. That technology, my people. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, importantly. Sorry. Problem solvers, she needs innovators who will expand economic opportunities, educators who will raise the standard, healthcare workers who will strengthen public health system, engineers who will modernize our infrastructure, and public servants who will govern with integrity and transparency. Go forth, therefore, with competence, with character. Let your expertise be matched by humanity. Let your ambition be guided by ethics and conviction. Let your success be measured by not only by personal advancement, but by the contribution you make to national development. Liberia is proud of you. Your families are proud of you. The institution that have shaped you is confident that you will succeed. As you depart the University of Liberia, remember that higher education is not the end to learning. It is the foundation of lifelong intellectual growth. Continue to question, continue to research, continue to innovate, continue to serve. In doing so, you will not only honor your alma mater, but you will strengthen the Republic of Liberia. On behalf of the National Commission on Higher Education, I congratulate each and every one of you. May your knowledge light your path, and may your service elevate our nation. Thank you, and may God bless you and the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, Director General, Dr. Cecilia Kiasa, for the Higher Commission for the National Commission on Higher Education. At this moment, we turn to the combined voices of the alumni chorus and the UL chorus to give us a beautiful rendition. UL chorus.
Today the storm is taking all day. Tonight all is gone to follow me night. The night
Thank you. You are chorus. Let's give them a hand of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Our graduating class, our platform guests, His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boaka, Professor Dr. Lady Mapayan, President of the University of Liberia, Chairperson of the 105 Commencement Convocation Committee, Professor Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor. It is now time we confer some honorary degrees upon individuals who have contributed to education and humanity. The Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor, will now present the first candidate to the President of the University of Liberia for the conferral of an honorary degree.
Madam President, based on your nomination and the approval of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, it has been resolved that in recognition of the outstanding service to the human capital development, especially in the area of education, the degree of Doctor of Education honoris causa be conferred upon Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford. Will the Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford please stand and move to the podium.
Madam Vice President, please have the citation read, the content of which can only represent an incomplete enumeration and a minutia of the achievements for which this distinction is being bestowed upon the candidate, following which you will kindly present the candidate for for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Let me now invite Councillor Norris L. Twe, Vice President for University Relations, who will summarize the citation for Honorable Cynthia L. Blanford. Please come to the podium.
Honorary degree citation. Honorable Cynthia Blanford, you are the president of Global Strategies for Good, LLC, editor-in-chief and CFO of International Focus Magazine, Atlanta, Georgia, and Monrovia, Liberia, managing director of Blanford Thompson Consulting, LLC, and president of the University Consortium for Liberia. You are internationally recognized for your expertise in diplomacy, business development, investment and trade, and travel and tourism. Your commitment to enhancing the relationship between the United States and Liberia is demonstrated by your significant contributions to bilateral partnership across cultural engagement. Based on your diplomatic experience, you were appointed as the first African-American honorary consul to Liberia by President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, continuing your service under President George Manuel Weah until you retired from the diplomatic corps. Throughout your career, you have been instrumental in securing substantial financial support for Liberia's development agenda. With extensive experience in fundraising, you have been instrumental in advancing education opportunities. You have overseen the establishment of scholarships and coordinated your exchange programs between Liberia and the USA that foster both cultural and academic collaboration between communities. Your initiatives have provided numerous individuals with enhanced prospects for academic growth and international engagement. As president of the University Consortium for Liberia, you mobilized 22 institutional partners to support educational development at the University of Liberia and African Methodist Episcopal University. Your professional network is both broad and influential, encompassing government ministers, United Nations institutions, international funders, thought leaders, non-governmental organizations, and universities. Your commitment and service have been acknowledged through multiple awards and recognition from leaders in both Liberia and the United States. Your outstanding accomplishments as honorary consul of Liberia are highly commendable. You played a key role in establishing Jeddah Airlines direct flights from Atlanta to Monrovia and was pivotal in facilitating the assisted airport agreement between Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, the busiest and most efficient airport globally, and the Liberian Airport Authority. Additionally, you successfully negotiated a sister port agreement between the Georgia Ports Authority and the National Ports Authority of Liberia to enhance trade. You also coordinated a $1.8 million donation from M8 International, providing life-saving antibiotics and medicine to President Joseph Boakai for the treatment of over 80,000 adults and 1,600 children. Your leadership has been instrumental in organizing more than 75 investment and education-focused trips to Liberia. In your memoir, My Heart Beats for Africa, How a Love for the Motherland Led Me into a Life of Purpose, you share your inspiring journey from Attica, New York, to your historic appointment as Liberia's first African-American woman honorary consul. You earned a Bachelor of Arts from Georgia State University and attended both Cornell University and the University of Liberia. You presently serve on the Board of Trustees for the African Methodist Episcopal University, and you are a member of the Liberia Business Chamber of Commerce, reflecting your dedication to advancing educational and economic development. You are a former member of the West End Rotary Club of Atlanta, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Metropolitan Atlanta Chapter, and the World Trade Center Atlanta. You currently reside in Monrovia and manage International Focus magazine, which operates both in Atlanta and Monrovia, and you continue to value your family connections in Atlanta. Your lifelong commitment to Liberia began as the first African-American Rotary Exchange student in Liberia in the early 70s. You now proudly marks 51 years of deep connection and devoted service to this country. You were honored to receive your resident permit as you await citizenship of the Republic of Liberia. In recognition of your outstanding and relentless contribution to diplomacy and education in the United States and Liberia, the Board of Trustees, upon the recommendation of the Faculty Senate and the President of the University of Liberia, has herewith approved the conferral on you, Cynthia L. Blandford, the degree of Doctor of Education, Honorary Counsel. Congratulations.
Therefore, Madam President, as Vice President for Academic Affairs of the University of Liberia, it is with much respect and admiration that I present to you Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford for the conferral of an honorary degree.
Honorable Blandford, I have the greatest pleasure and honor to perform this distinctive task. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter, the Visitor, and the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, I do hereby confer upon you, Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford, the degree of Doctor of Education, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. We are very proud of you, Honorable Blandford.
By authority of the University of Liberia, I present to you the diploma evidenced by the conferral of the degree of Doctor of Education honoris causa. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford. The Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Edna Reeves Taylor, will now present the second candidate to the President of the University of Liberia for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Madam President, based on your nomination and the approval of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, it has been resolved that in recognition of the outstanding service to humanity, especially in the areas of diplomacy, the degree of Doctor of International Relations, honoris causa, be conferred upon Honorable Sarah Beslow Nyanti. Will the honoree please stand and
Madam Vice President, please have the citation read, the content of which can only represent an incomplete enumeration and a minutia of the achievements for which this distinction is being bestowed upon the candidate, following which you will kindly present the candidate for conferral of the honorary degree.
let me now invite Professor Jonathan C. Taylor, Vice President for Graduate Studies and Research, who will summarize the citation for Honorable Sarah Beslow Nyanti. Please come up. Well, she's already standing between the podium.
Her Excellency, Madam Sarah Beslow Nyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of the Cabinet of the Republic of Liberia. You are a globally respected diplomat, public servant, and international expert with nearly 3 decades of experience as a development practitioner, transformational leader, and motivational speaker and preacher with experience in crisis management and humanitarian response. As Liberia's chief diplomatic representative, you currently lead the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at a pivotal moment in Liberia's foreign policy trajectory. You have been instrumental in re-energizing Liberia's global engagement, most notably by securing Liberia's successful election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council 2026-2027. In your role as Dean of the Cabinet, you serve as an advisor to the President of the Republic of Liberia on foreign policy, and you also help to shape strategic policy direction and ensure coordination across ministries in the implementation of national priorities. Your portfolio includes spearheading Liberia's economic diplomacy agenda, strengthening bilateral and multilateral partnerships, enhancing the country's international reputation, and leading key reforms in the Foreign Service, including the decentralization of passport services and the expansion of Liberia's diplomatic presence abroad. Prior to your appointment as Foreign Minister, you held senior leadership roles within the United Nations, including UN Resident Coordinator in South Sudan and Nepal, Deputy Special Representative of the Secretary General and Assistant Secretary General in the UN Peacekeeping Missions, UNMISS, as well as leading complex humanitarian operations and in some of the most difficult and challenging conflicts and post-conflict settings around the world. In South Sudan, you also organized the country's first international conference on women in transformational leadership, championing gender equity in governance. You also served with UNICEF for over a decade, including as UNICEF representative. As UNICEF Chief of Office in Lagos, Nigeria, you were at the forefront of Public Health Emergency Coordination, you played a pivotal role, critical role in Nigeria's successful containment of the Ebola outbreak, co-leading the establishment of emergency operations centers in both Yaba and Port Harcourt. Before your international career, you were a trailblazer in Liberia's public health sector, serving as director of the National AIDS Control Program, where you led the mobilization of global fund resources to fight HIV/AIDS. As a passionate advocate for women's empowerment and inclusive governance, you are recognized for your empathetic and principled leadership style, marked by integrity, service, and a commitment to justice, peace, sustainable development. Your efforts to inspire a new generation of leaders across Africa and beyond. In recognition of your outstanding and inexorable contribution to diplomacy in Liberia and the world at large, the Board of Trustees, upon the recommendation of the Faculty Senate and the President of the University of Liberia, has herewith approved the conferral on you, Sarah Beslow Nyanti, the degree of Doctor of International Relations, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Therefore, Madam President, as Vice President for Academic Affairs of the University of Liberia, it is with respect and admiration that I present to you the Honorable Sarah Beslow Nyanti for the conferral of an honorary degree.
Honorable Nyanti, I have the greatest pleasure and honor to perform this distinctive task. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter, the Visitor, and the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, I do hereby confer upon you, Honorable Sarah Beslow Nyanti, the degree of Doctor of International Relations, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. We are very proud of you, Honorable Nyanti.
By the authority of the University of Liberia, I present to you the diploma, evidence by the conferrer of the degree of Doctor of International Relations, honoris causa. Congratulations to them.
Thank you to our honorees. We now invite the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Agnes Reese-Taylor, who will now present a third candidate and commencement speaker, President of the University of Liberia, for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Madam President, based on your nomination and the approval of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, it has been resolved that in recognition of the outstanding service to humanity, especially in the area of agriculture, the degree of Doctor of Agricultural Science, honoris causa, be conferred upon Professor David Norris. Will Professor Norris please stand? In between.
Madam Vice President, please have the citation read, the contents of which can only represent an incomplete enumeration and minutia of the achievements for which this distinction is being bestowed upon the candidate, following which you will kindly present the candidate for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Let me now invite Professor Dr. Wiade Koba-Bole, Vice President for Institutional Development and Planning, who will summarize the citation for Professor David Norris.
Professor Dr. David Norris, you are a distinguished academic and the 6th Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana, appointed in 2017. You are a specialist in animal science, focusing on transforming the institution into a high-performance organization through research, innovation, and industry partnerships. You are a strong advocate for African university collaboration, like the HISWA and ROOF Forum programs, which have over 12 faculty members from the University of Liberia studying for PhDs and master's degrees at the University of Botswana. Digital transformation and sustainable economic growth. You hold a PhD degree in quantitative genetics brewing from the Michigan State University, USA. You read for your Master of Science, Animal Science at the University of Reading, United Kingdom. You hold a Bachelor's of Science degree in Biology and Physics obtained from the University of Botswana. You have attended several leadership and professional programs, including strategies for leading successful change initiatives at Harvard University, multi-stakeholder strategies and processes, CDI, Wageningen University, the Netherlands, curriculum development, problem-based learning, Hansen University, Netherlands, strategic leadership, Maastricht School of Management, Netherlands, management of higher education, Galilee International Management Institute, Israel, change and process management, Rutgers University, gender mainstreaming, ICRA, Netherlands. Your competences include innovative teaching and learning, research, development and innovation, higher education, administration, and management. You have been serving as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana since 1st November 2017. You are an experienced leader, researcher, and lecturer, having served in different capacities in Botswana, USA, and South Africa. Before joining the University of Botswana, you were the Deputy Vice Chancellor responsible for research and innovation at the Botswana International University of Science and Technology. Before serving at that university, you were director of the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. You have also served as an assistant professor at Austin Peay State University, USA, and worked for the government of Botswana's Department of Agricultural Research as senior research officer. An accomplished scholar, you are renowned for your leadership in innovative teaching, curriculum design, strategic management, and research development in higher education. You have secured research funding, built strong networks for collaboration, and guided institutional change with a focus on innovation and academic development. You are indeed a pride to your country's academic service. In recognition of your outstanding and enduring service to education and research, coupled with your invaluable services to the Botswana society and the world, the Board of Trustees, upon the recommendation of the Faculty Senate and the President of the University of Liberia, the degree of Doctor of Agricultural Science, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Therefore, Madam President, as Vice President for Academic Affairs of the University of Liberia, it is with much respect and admiration that I present to you Professor Dr. David Norris for the conferral of an honorary degree.
Vice Chancellor Norris, I have the greatest pleasure and honor to perform this distinctive task. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter, the Visitor, and the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, I do hereby confer upon you, Professor Dr. David Norris, the degree of Doctor of Agricultural Science, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities appertaining thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. We are very proud of you, Professor Norris.
By the authority of the University of Liberia, I present to you this diploma, evidenced by conferral of the degree of Doctor of Agriculture, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe we can together with that. Your Excellency Joseph Nyuba Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and visitor of the University of Liberia. Honorable Jeremiah Kapan Kong, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. His Honor Yami Kwekwe Yabse, the Chief Justice and Associate Structures of the Supreme Court. Honorable Richard Kun, Speaker and members of the House of Representatives. Honorable Nyombli Hanga Lawrence, President pro tempore, and members of the Liberian Senate. Former government officials that are here present. Honorable Nameli T. Patekwa, Chairman and members of the UL Board of Trustees. Honorable Dr. Jassomali Jala, Minister of Education and member ex officio of the Board of Trustees. Madam President, University of Liberia, Professor Dr. Leili Maparayan, college presidents and special representatives of the Association of Liberian Universities, former presidents of the University of Liberia, Professor Dr. Cecilia M. Cassell, Director General, National Commission on Higher Education, Your Excellency, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Dean and members of the Liberian Cabinet, distinguished officials of government here present, Dr. Fatima Gueves Kwekwe, National President of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the USA, Mr. Charles Russell, Director of the University of Liberia Alumni Chorus, Attorney Martin Well Penny, Acting President and members of the University of Liberia Alumni Association, Dr. Edna Johnny, President and members of the University of Liberia Faculty Association, Mr. D. Preston, and members of the University of Liberia Staff Association, Mrs. J. Bilo Timban, President, University of Liberia Student Interim Leadership, and fellow UL SIL members, Mr. Jamal J. Gosson, valedictorian of the UL undergraduate colleges, and Mrs. Aisatou Jalo Ba, valedictorian of our graduate and professional schools. Mr. Abram D. Nula, president of members of the 105th graduating class Nani Gabulugi Ma, the class of triumph, and Mr. Prince N. Johnson, president and members of the 105th graduate and professional schools class, Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor, vice president for academic affairs and members of the UL cabinet, Doyen and members of the Dean's Council, members of the Faculty Senate and Administration Council, students of the University of Liberia, parents, guardians, supporters, relatives, friends, and well-wishers of our graduates and graduates, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here this morning, or is it afternoon now? And let me say it is such an honor to have been bestowed with that honorary degree. It is indeed humbling to be honored while you are still alive. Let me say that many of us consider this event as a ceremony, but I would like to say today that this is not merely a ceremony. It is a declaration. It is an explicit statement that perseverance triumphs over difficulty. It is an explicit statement that hope is stronger than hardship. It is a declaration that the future of Liberia is alive, educated, and ready. Graduates, today you wear gowns. Tomorrow, as has been said, you will be wearing responsibility. And the question before you is not simply what job am I going to get. The deeper questions that you should be reflecting upon are, what nation shall I build? What value am I going to add? What positive change am I going to make? Liberia, like a number of other countries in Africa, stands at a defining moment in its history. Just like many other African countries, your nation is rich. It is rich in natural resources. It is rich in culture. It is rich in resilience. It is rich in youth. Yet you, like many other African countries, face undeniable economic challenges. Growth has been uneven, infrastructure gaps persist, public revenue is constrained, debt pressures weigh on national development. Many families still struggle to access stable and decent livelihoods. But I want to say this to all of us here today, that economic challenges are not and should not be destiny. These are cues, or what I would call signals. The economic challenges are cues that Liberia's development model must evolve. They are cues that dependence on raw commodity exports is insufficient. They signal that a new generation must think differently. And the generation is this very generation that is seated before us today. You graduate at a time when Liberia does not need more spectators. It needs builders. It needs innovators. It needs problem solvers. It needs ethical leaders. You are not stepping into an easy economy, but you are stepping into an economy that is waiting for transformation. You are stepping into an economy that has greater potential, a potential that can transform livelihoods of most Liberians. The world has changed. We no longer live primarily in an industrial economy. We live in a knowledge economy where ideas are more valuable than oil, where ideas are more valuable than gold or diamonds. Let me say this, that the top 9 or the top 10 companies by value in this world today are what you call knowledge companies. The NVIDIA, Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, these are top richest countries in the world, and these are knowledge companies. What counts is not resources. What counts is up here, your intellectual capacity. And amongst the top 10, let me say, there's only one resource company, the Saudi Aramco, which is oil and gas company. But I'm sure very soon it will drop out of the top 10. In a knowledge economy, I must say, universities are not just institutions of learning. They are engines of national competitiveness. They are economic engines. A university is not merely a place to receive a degree. It is a lab for solving national problems. It is a space where research becomes policy, where theory becomes enterprise, where young minds become architects of transformation. The University of Liberia must not only produce graduates, it must produce creators of knowledge, designers of systems, innovators of solutions. And you, graduates seated here this morning, you must not only seek employment, you must become contributors to intellectual capacity. In a knowledge economy, a computer science graduate can develop software, mobile applications, create fintech platforms that expand financial inclusion. An agriculture graduate can develop smart farming techniques that can establish new agro-processing methods, can train farmers on sustainable and profitable farming methods. A business graduate can design supply chains that reduce waste and increase exports. This graduate can develop innovative business models for digital platforms. A media graduate can develop digital content industries, provide national brands and tourism, build online platforms that monetize local content. A graduate in pharmacy can develop pharmaceutical products from our indigenous plant material. Let us imagine if communities, our rural communities, process cassava into packaged flour and starch. Let me say this, which is a problem in Africa. Liberia's weakness, like many other weaknesses, and I'm so happy, Mr. President, because I follow your country a lot. I'm going to say a lot of things that I see happening in this country that are so positive, that are so encouraging. Let me say this. The weakness in Africa is that we export raw materials in Liberia. Let me get close to Liberia. Rubber, iron ore, timber, agricultural products. But too often we export them in their most basic form. You sell raw rubber instead of finished tires. You export cocoa beans instead of chocolate. You ship iron instead of steel products. You export palm oil, but import finished products at higher prices. This is a value chain problem, Africa's problem, not only a problem here. It is a problem in my country. Let me tell you, my country is facing financial difficulties because of heavy reliance on diamonds. And let me tell you where we lost it. In terms of polished diamonds, because we sell our diamonds raw, in terms of polished diamonds, data from 2021 shows that India made $22 billion from polished diamonds. USA made $14 billion US from polished diamonds. Hong Kong made 13. Belgium made 8. Israel made 7. And Botswana, where these diamonds are coming from, made 0.89 billion. This is not right. This cannot be right. Things must change. And therefore, at the University of Botswana, we are saying, we must align ourselves with the development imperatives of the country. How do we explain to Botswana that we don't even have the finest diamond polishing school in Botswana? How do we explain that? How do we explain that we don't have a jewelry school in Botswana when diamonds have been the source of sustenance and prosperity for us? Let me get close to Liberia. Your raw materials. Let me get close. The iron ore. In 2023, you got 483 million. This is an estimate, you can correct me. You got 483 million. The potential income could have been up to 5 times. You could have received $2.4 billion, but you got 483. From rubber, you got 183 million. You could have got 412 million. In crude palm oil, you received 83 million. You could have received 250 million. Diamonds 18. You could have received 180 million. When we fail to process, when we fail to package, when we fail to brand, when we fail to innovate locally, we surrender jobs, we surrender profits, we surrender technological learning. Value chain development is not a technical term. It is a national survival strategy. Mr. President, I have to say this. It's important to say this. I've even been to Nimba, even to the border with Guinea. I love this country. I've been all over. But I can tell you, Mr. President, when I read about what you are doing, I follow you. You are negotiating billions in new investments, in energy, in mining, in agriculture. Your Excellency, you are restricting raw commodity exports to boost local processing. That is leadership. You are supporting agro-processing investments. That is leadership. You are strengthening agricultural value through your LACRA bill. That is leadership. Your executive order 156, which is protecting local production, that is leadership. We applaud you. And to the graduates, I want you to ask yourself, how can my discipline add value to Liberia's raw products? How can it? The low-lying fruits, even lie without a lot of investment, palm oil. You can do a lot. When you come out of a university in food science, in pharmacy, you can do a lot. In face products, beauty products, there is a lot that you can do with this palm oil that you're exporting. We are confronted with one of the most urgent challenges, youth unemployment. In my country, youth unemployment is now standing at 40%. It's worrisome. A nation where the majority of its population is young must either harness that energy or be overwhelmed by it. High youth unemployment is not just an economic issue. It is a social mobility issue, social stability issue. It is a psychological issue. It is a dignity issue. When young people cannot find jobs, frustration grows. When frustration grows, trust in institutions weakens. When trust weakens, development stalls. But here is the truth. Unemployment is not only a shortage of jobs. Sometimes it is also a mismatch of skills. Sometimes it is limited innovation. Sometimes it is insufficient enterprise creation. The solution will not come solely from government employment. Get that clear. The public sector cannot absorb the entire graduating class every year. The private sector alone cannot either. The future demands something more powerful. We need entrepreneurial citizens. Entrepreneurship is not merely about starting a business. It is about solving problems sustainably. An entrepreneur sees waste and sees opportunity. An entrepreneur sees unemployment and sees potential. An entrepreneur sees a gap in the value chain and he or she builds a bridge. Liberia does not need job seekers. It needs job creators. This does not mean in any way that every graduate must open a company tomorrow. What this means is that every graduate must cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset. You must identify inefficiencies. You must innovate solutions. You must take calculated risks. You must collaborate across disciplines. Use technology intelligently. But graduates, very important, you must also bring courage. Be courageous. Now, while we challenge students, we must also challenge our institutions in Africa. The University of Liberia must continuously examine its curriculum. This is not for UL alone. This is for the entire education system in Africa. The questions that we should be asking ourselves in many African universities is that, is our curriculum relevant? Is it practical? Is it aligned with our country's development needs? Is it preparing graduates for tomorrow or jobs of yesterday? A quality curriculum in the 21st century must integrate digital literacy in all disciplines, critical thinking and problem solving, research skills, entrepreneurship, as I said, industry partnerships, experiential learning. This is very important. But I'm so happy, Madam President Maria, this is something that you are very passionate about. You talk about it all the time. A modern university cannot operate in isolation from industry, from agriculture, from technology, and public administration. There must be internships, corporate education programs, innovation labs, and startup accelerators. What we need is what you call a quintuple innovation partnership framework, where university, industry, government, communities come together, and all this anchored on sustainable development. Research must not sit on shelves. It must inform policy and production. Faculty must be supported in continuous professional development. Students must be exposed to real-world challenges before graduation. And are we bringing, very important, are we bringing real-world practitioners in our classroom? There are people out there that we must bring in our classroom so that they can add value in terms of bringing the real world into our classrooms. At the University of Botswana, we talk a lot about our proud history. That's well and good. But I challenge my colleagues sometimes to reflect on whether that history impacts positively on society. Does it improve people's lives? Is it enhancing the economic growth of the country? The University of Liberia, I'm sure, I'm certain, you have a very proud history too. But history alone does not guarantee relevance. Continuous improvement does. A knowledge economy demands a dynamic university. And that is why even when you review your curricula, do it so fast. The world is moving very fast. By the time you review, you realize that what you've reviewed is already obsolete. Let me say something equally important. Character. To you graduates, skills without integrity are dangerous. Education without ethics is hollow. Leadership without accountability is destructive. Africa's development challenges are not only technical, they're also moral. Corruption erodes resources. Nepotism undermines merit. Short-term thinking sacrifices long-term prosperity. Mr. President, I follow you. And I'm so glad that you have seriously and actively, you've been fighting the scourge of corruption in this country. I am a geneticist by training. There is no evidence of genetic difference in intellectual capacity between races. In Africa, our challenge is not intellectual capacity, ability. It is attitudes. The problem is attitudes. The problem is work ethics. The problem is warped mindsets, entitlements, failure to partner and collaborate amongst ourselves, pettiness, unhealthy focus, poor and unethical leadership. Is not the gene, is not your black skin, it's your attitude, it's your mindset. As you graduate, and as you graduates, you must decide what kind of professionals you are going to become. Will you contribute to the system of transparency? Will you build trust in public institutions? Will you reject shortcuts that undermine national progress? The future of Liberia is not only in your intelligence, it is also in your integrity. Let's reimagine Liberia in the next 10 years. A Liberia where agricultural processing zones employ thousands. A Liberia where digital startups export services across Africa. A Liberia where local industries manufacture goods once important. A Liberia where research institutions give guidance based on evidence. A Liberia where young entrepreneurs are celebrated, supported, and scaled. This is not fantasy. This is not delusional. This is strategy. This is possible. By strategy, the strategy requires disciplined action. That's very important. We must strengthen our infrastructure, invest in education, encourage innovation, promote regional trade, ensure microeconomic stability, build institutional capacity. And none of this, ladies and gentlemen, is abstract. It requires people, skilled people, ethical people, courageous people. It requires you, the graduating class. Graduates of the 105th Convocation, you are not graduating into a finished nation. You are graduating into a nation under construction. And you are not merely beneficiaries of Liberia's story. You are authors of its next chapter. When you encounter unemployment, do not surrender to despair. Innovate. When you encounter institutional weaknesses, do not retreat. Reform. When you encounter economic constraints, do not complain. Create. When you encounter skepticism, do not shrink. Prove what is possible. Challenges, a blueprint into innovation and solutions. Carry your degrees with humility, but use them with boldness. Remember your parents' sacrifices. Remember your professors' dedication. Remember your country's history of survival. Liberia has endured conflict. Liberia has endured health crises. Liberia has endured economic shocks. You have endured tough times. But I can say to you and to the entire Liberia, you can rise, and you are rising. Today, you walk across this stage as graduates. Tomorrow, you walk into boardrooms, classrooms, laboratories, farms, startups, ministries, clinics, and communities. Let me encourage you. Walk in with competence. Walk in with confidence. Walk in with conviction. May you be the generation that transforms new raw resources into finished prosperity. May you be the generation that transforms unemployment into innovation. May you be the generation that transforms knowledge into national wealth. May you be the generation that proves that Liberia's greatest export is not rubber or iron ore, but human capital. Congratulations, class of the 105th graduation ceremony. Liberia is waiting. Thank you, and may your future be bold, ethical, and transformative.
Wow. We need a thunderous hands of applause. Thank you, Mr. Guest Speaker, for such an inspiring expose. Thank you, Professor Dr. Norris. Thank you. May you all be seated, please. Thank you. I have the master program right before me. So at this moment, we call on the University of Liberia's chorus under the directorship of Anthony Law Prince A. Decker, who will render us a beautiful rendition. Right after that, chorus, are you ready? You seen it? And you see what we can do here? You see it? Congratulations to the UR chorus for that melodious old school song. That's the song for the old people. Some of you who were born in 1980, you don't know that song. Thank you. At this juncture, we will invite the protocol officer from the executive mansion who will now introduce the president.
Members of the National Legislature, Madam Dean and members of the President's Cabinet, other officials of government, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Madam Resident Coordinator of the United Nations System and heads of international organizations, Mr. Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, Madam President of the University of Liberia and heads of institutions of specialized and higher learning, Mr. Commencement Speaker, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana, Madam Director General of the Commission on Higher Education of Liberia, members of the Faculty Senate and the University Council, Mr. Representative of the Visitor to the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia, members of the graduating class of the graduate and professional schools of the University of Liberia, parents, relations, guardians of the graduating class, former officials of government, and former presidents of the University of Liberia, members of the support staff of the university, all other invited guests, our audience in radio and television land, members of the electronic and print media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of the 105th Commencement Convocation of the University of Liberia, I have the honor at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Juma Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia and visitor of the university, who will make remarks.
Thank you. Please have your seats. Members of the Board of Trustees, Madam President of the University of Liberia, the Honorable Speaker, President Pro Tempore, members of the 55th Legislature, faculty, staff, the alumni, the graduating class of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. We also want to recognize our existing protocols. We want to thank the guest speaker for such a brilliant delivery. It is a pleasure to be here today as we celebrate 105th Commencement Convocation, the celebration of yet another milestone in the proud history of the university and intellectual and professional life of our nation. We congratulate all of you, the administration, management staff, students of the University of Liberia. Organizing a convocation of this magnitude, balancing the rigor of graduate and professional schools, is no small feat. You have kept the torch of lux in tenebris burning bright, and for that fact, the nation is grateful. We also celebrate our distinguished honorees whose contributions to academia, diplomacy, and public service stand as an enduring example of excellence. Your achievement reminds us that the limits of our success are defined only by the breadth of our vision and the depth of our commitment. To the graduating class of 2025, congratulations. You have navigated your rigors of advanced study to emerge as the specialized workforce that Liberia needs. As a visitor to the university, I want to reaffirm our administration's commitment to higher education. The University of Liberia remains our national flagship and one of the great ways for our youth to the middle class. We are not content to maintain the status quo. We are driven by national momentum for significant transformation. To compete in the globalized economy, you must world-class education that adapts to an evolving job market. We are building a university that not only grants degrees, but also develop the architects of our national economic development. Vision, however, must be matched with investment and resources. I am pleased to reaffirm our government's support for ongoing infrastructure renovation and modernization effort. That is why in the fiscal year 2026 budget, we have allocated over $6 million United States dollars to improve the facilities across the university. Our students deserve an environment that reflects the dignity of their aspiration and the seriousness of their purpose. Yet, infrastructure alone is not enough. Strong institutions are built on strong systems. I therefore call on the leadership of the university to continue strengthening accountability across all areas, including academic, administrative, financial, and disciplinary function. Excellence is never accidental. It is the product of discipline, integrity, and courage to uphold standards. This is how we restore the full prestige of the University of Liberia and position its competitiveness on the global stage. Additionally, I would like to see a more active and engaged alumni association that serves us as a strategic partner in advancing the university mission. Around the world, strong alumni network play a vital role in boosting the institution's reputation, expanding career opportunities for graduates, and mobilizing financial and technical resources. As an alumnus myself of this university, I encourage the Alumni Association of this great institution to organize, recommit themselves to our alma mater. A vibrant alumni association will help improve the university's public standing and provide essential support to maintain a solid and sustainable financial foundation. We are committed to making this happen in this coming year, and I want you to please engage me. Let me also reaffirm my full confidence in the current leadership of the university. Stability and continuity are essential to achieving reforms that we seek. Let me take a moment and now address the culture of this campus. The University of Liberia has long been a cradle of student activism and national consciousness. This legacy is indomitable and valuable and has contributed to our country's democracy. But it must be guided by responsibility. However, all of us, including the students and the mentors, must ensure that engagement remains peaceful, constructive, and grounded in respect. It has always been, let this campus remain a marketplace of ideas and a citadel of innovation and advancement, particularly in the new technological age, not as a battleground of conflict. True leadership is demonstrated not through force, but through reason, discipline, and vision. I am particularly encouraged by the graduate class leadership's focus on development over division. Your proposal to reconstruct a modern research laboratory speaks to a forward-looking vision, one that prioritizes innovation, practical learning, and national relevance. This is the kind of leadership Liberia needs. In recognition of the initiative as a demonstration of my personal commitment to youth-driven development, I am pleased to contribute an initial $50,000 United States dollars toward the research laboratory research. This amount is from savings gleaned from my voluntary salary reduction. We will continue to spread my salary reduction savings to support meaningful and impactful projects in our country. Graduates, you are leaving these walls at a time when Liberia is ready for your expertise. Be the leaders who prioritize governance over greed and vision over vintage. Go forth and be the light in the darkness. And in all that you do, remember to always think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia. May God bless us all, bless the work of this university, and save our state. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, His Excellency Joseph Numa Bwaka, Senior President of the University of Liberia. I didn't hear us clapping. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Imagine $50,000 dedicated to research. University must grow. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we've now come to the conferral, the certification of academic excellence to students who performed with distinction. I will now invite to this podium Dr. Agnes Reeves-Taylor, Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will now present the candidates who are graduating with honors for certification of excellence to the President of the University. Vice President Wiade Koba Bullet and relevant marshals, please get prepared to participate. Hello.
Thank you.
Madam President, I present to you 26 persons from the graduate and professional programs who are graduating with distinctions in respective disciplines and are recommended for certification of excellence as indicated.
Let me first extend profoundest congratulations to the platinum of our graduating class, the creme de la creme of our graduates. Kudos. We honor you. We take pride in your amazing accomplishments. Thank you.
Will the directors of graduate programs kindly move towards the podium in the order listed below as directed by the marshals and read the names of their honor graduates as each graduate ascends the dais to receive certification by the Vice President and myself of Academic Affairs. The Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida Graduate Program in International Relations.
Ba Aissatou Jallo. Bato Ruth. Johnson Mane FK. Kamara Mohammed. Siki Nano. Leon Tallery.
And who else? You're not coming. Come. Congratulations. Thank you.
The graduate program in education.
I just got two, eh? Graduate program in education, graduates with distinction. Dora Fire from Lofa County. Jacob Sibo. Yeah. So that just two. So where are they? Hello. Graduate program in education, Dora Fire and Sibo. Don't waste the people's time.
You are celebrating your steps.
Yeah. She does the graduate school in education.
Excuse me.
Sibo.
Jake. Sadie.
Turn it around so they can do it. Hurry up.
The graduate program in business and public administration.
Graduate program in business and public administration. We have three distinctions. The first is Sandra Perkins Light. Sandra, please come forward from the MBA program, MBA in management. The second is also Teresa K. Sapla from the procurement program. Third in order is Dakamu Danu Dakata Topa from the procurement class as well. Please come forward. Yes, three. Sandra, where's Sandra?
Sandra Perkins Live. Teresa Sapla. It doesn't have to be me. It's okay. And one more person. Who's that?
Sandra.
Sandra Perkins Live. Okay.
Graduate program in peace studies and conflict transformation, the Kofi Annan program.
From the Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation, our distinguished honoree is Richelieu Dow Freeman, who is graduating in absentia. I can receive on his behalf. Thank you.
The graduate program in environmental science, climate change, and biodiversity.
for the graduate program in environmental studies and climate change, I present two candidates. Alvin Luther Hayes, who's graduating in absentia, and Boyno Claw.
The graduate program in public health.
I'm honored to present two students with distinction, Joseph Kamara and April Bimbo. Come on, guys.
Joseph Kamara, Abel Bembo. Thank you.
The Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law.
I am both honored and privileged to present to you 6 students from the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law. Both sets, 3 with magna cum laude and 3 with cum laude. So we have firstly Abraham Zaki Kroma. Second on the list, we have Senator James Biney. Third, we have Miss Isetta Jones Howe. Fourth, we have Flomo Anthony. Fifth, we have Pelewa Joshua. And lastly, we have Miss Mema Lasana. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the hard work. More to come. Mobani, congratulations. Thank you, Joshua. Love me, Mama. Welcome, Spain.
The A.M.E. Dogliotti School of Medicine.
The Achille Mario Dogliotti School of Medicine presents one candidate with distinction, Mr. Frank Alex Peters.
And finally, the School of Pharmacy.
The School of Pharmacy is the third of the professional school of the University of Liberia and is pleased to present 3 candidates who are graduating with distinction. Thomasina Madie Du, Grand Bassa County. Jimmy Dino Gray, Grand Cape Mount County. And Alvin G. Isaac, Nimba County.
Jimmy Dino Gray. Thank you, Dr. Taylor, for the hard work. We have now reached the point in our convocation that represents the pivotal purpose for which we are here, the conferral of degrees on our candidates for graduation by the President of the University of Liberia. Will the candidates for degree please ensure that the tassel of your house come down on the right side? The Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor, will now come forward and present the petition of the candidates for degrees from the University of Liberia to the President of the University of Liberia. Thank you.
Madam President, I present to you 469 candidates, of which are 175 candidates in our 3 professional schools and 294 candidates in our 8 graduate programs, having satisfactorily fulfilled all of the requirements and exercises prescribed by the University of Liberia, herewith petition through me for admissions to the relevant degrees at the University of Liberia. I will call the names of the programs as the president begins. The Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law. Will the Dean of the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law, Assistant Professor, Counselor Dr. Rix Onua, please come forward.
Excuse me, may I announce that the President of the University of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Numa Boakai Sr., will now be departing the commencement ceremony. Please rise.
Let's take your seat, table and rest. We'll call you back. We don't want to lose.
Hey, working?
Yeah, working well.
Yes, I went cool. This woe, this woe, cow.
As soon as the president returns to the podium, we will continue because we've come to the pivotal part of this occasion, the conferral of degrees. So as soon as the president gets back to the podium, we ask that you all please have your seats, and so you can still be rejoicing a bit. We know that this celebration continues to the rest of this week.
Yes, I went. This was Pomo. This was Pomo. This was Cow. This was. Yes, I went. Yes, I went. Yes, I went.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you.
Yes, I went. Yes, I went.
Welcome back. Thank you, AFN Marching Band, UF Marching Band. A beautiful collaboration this afternoon. You are about to be conferred with your degrees. Please be seated. AM Doctorate, School of Medicine, School of Pharmacy, MBA, MPA program, International Studies, Kofiana, Regional Science, Louis Arthur Graham, School of Law. Okay, we now invite to this podium the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Dr. Agnes Reeves Taylor.
The Dean of the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law, an Assistant Professor of Law, Counselor Dr. Nevida Ricks Onuha, I hope I got it correctly, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Guardians of the law, guardians of the law, candidates for the degree of Bachelors of Law, please be prepared for conferral of the degree. Madam President, I present to you 86 candidates of the Louis Arthur Grimes School of Law to be admitted to the degree of Bachelors of Law. Please, Madam President, your newest lawyers in Liberia.
Thank you, Madam Dean. Law school graduates, graduands, by virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Bachelor of Laws, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Bachelor of Laws, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. You may each vest yourself with the hood.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dean Rick.
the College of Health Sciences, the Vice President for the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Bernice Dawn, will please present the Deans of the School of Health Sciences.
The A.M. Dogliotti School of Medicine. The Dean of the A.M. Dogliotti School of Medicine, Assistant Professor Lawrence M. Sherman, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine, please be preferred for conferral of degree. Madam President, I present to you 40 candidates of the A.M. Dogliotti School of Medicine to be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Sherman. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Doctor of Medicine, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. You may each vest yourself with the hood.
The School of Pharmacy. The Dean of the School of Pharmacy, Associate Professor Ezekiel F. Halley, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy, Farm D, please be prepared for conferral of the degree. Madam President, I present to you 49 candidates of the School of Pharmacy to be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy.
Thank you. Graduands, by virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy, Farm D, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Doctor of Pharmacy, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. You may vest yourself with your hood.
The Graduate School. Professor Jonathan C. Taylor, Vice President for Graduate Studies and Research, will now present the candidates to the President of the University.
Madam President, 294 candidates in 8 graduate programs, having satisfactorily fulfilled all the requirements and exercises prescribed by the University of Liberia herewith petition through me for the admission to the relevant degrees as indicated. The graduate program in International Studies, Dr. Mamadou Ba, Graduate Program Director, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the degree of Masters of Arts in International Relations, please be prepared for conferral of the degree.
Dr. Ba, thank you for the presentation of 45 candidates of the graduate program in International Studies to be admitted to the degree of Master of Arts. Graduands, by virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts in International Relations, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of the degree of Master of Arts in International Relations, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Congratulations. Will each of you please vest yourself with the hood?
The graduate program in education, Associate Professor John Gibson Kipo, Program Director, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidate for the master's degree in education, be prepared for the conferral of the degree. Madam President, I am pleased to present to you 16 graduates to be admitted to the degree of Master of Arts in Education Administration.
Thank you. Are they over here? Education graduates, where are you?
The education graduate, where are you?
Over here. Okay,
You're
great.
just dancing now. You got to stand up.
Okay. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter of the Board of Trustees, as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Arts in Educational Administration, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Arts, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Will each graduate please vest yourself with a hood? Congratulations.
Thank you.
The graduate program in Regional Science, Associate Professor Francis N. Mawia, Program Director, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Science, MSc, in Regional Planning, please be prepared for conference of the degree. Madam President, it is my pleasure to present to you 5 candidates of the graduate program in Regional Science to be admitted to the degree of Master of Science.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Science in Regional Planning, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Science, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Will each graduate please vest yourself with a hood?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
The graduate program in Business and Public Administration. Assistant Professor John Solonta Smith, Program Director, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Thank you. Candidate for Masters in Business Administration and Masters in Public Administration and Masters of Science, please be prepared for conferral of the degree and awarding of diplomas. Madam President, it is my pleasure to present to you 190 candidates of the graduate program in Business and Public Administration to be admitted to the degree program for Masters in Business Administration and Masters in Public Administration and Masters of Science. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Business Administration in Accounting, Banking and Finance and Management, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science in Public Procurement Management, respectively, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Business Administration, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Will each graduate please vest herself or himself with a hood?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation, Professor T. Debbie Sandy, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Peace Studies and Conflict Transformation please be prepared for the conferral of the degrees? It is my pleasure to present to you 4 candidates of the Kofi Annan Institute for Conflict Transformation to be admitted to the degree of Master of Arts in Peace Studies and Conflict Transformation.
Where are they? Peace Studies graduates. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees As President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Arts in Peace Studies and Conflict Transformation, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Arts, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. Will each graduate please vest yourself with a hood? And you have my congratulations.
The Director of the Graduate School of Public Health, Dr. Wadime Harmon Gray, will please present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the Graduate School of Public Health, please stand. Madam President, I present to you 9 candidates of the Graduate School of Public Health to be admitted to the degree of Masters of Public Health.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter of the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Public Health by giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Public Health, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. You may now vest yourself with the hood. Congratulations.
The graduate program in Environmental Science, Climate Change, and Biodiversity. Dr. Emmanuel T. Olatunji, Program Director, will present the candidates to the President of the University.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Science, Master of Science in Climate Change and Biodiversity, and Master of Arts in Environmental Management. Please be prepared for the conferral of degrees. Madam President, it is my pleasure to present to you 25 candidates of the graduate program in Environmental Science, Master of Science in Climate Change and Biodiversity, and Master of Arts in Environmental Management. To be admitted to the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Science, Master of Arts in Environmental Management, and Master of Science in Climate Change and Biodiversity.
Thank you. Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, they are already.
Okay. By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Charter and the Board of Trustees as President of the University of Liberia, I confer upon each and every one of you the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Science, Master of Science in Climate Change and Biodiversity, and Master of Arts in Environmental Management, respectively, giving you, by my authority and that of the whole university, full powers to do all things which appertain to the status of Master of Science and Master of Arts, with all of the rights, privileges, responsibilities, obligations, and immunities relevant thereto, both here and elsewhere. You will each graduate please vest yourself with a hood. Congratulations.
We ask all graduates to please remain in your seats. Please go to your seats. The program hasn't ended. The program hasn't ended yet. We have an announcement to make, but we'll not make the announcement until you go to your seats. Please go to your seat. We got to tell you where you will collect your diplomas. Please go to your seats. Please go to your seat. Each of you, please return to your seats. We ask the parents and invited guests to please go away from the graduation. Please go back to your respective positions. The University of Liberia needs a functionally active alumni. Therefore, we now call upon Mr. Martin Lepenning, acting president of the Alumni Association, to induct our new graduates into the University of Liberia Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All protocol observed. Distinguished graduates, I know you are excited, you are overwhelmed, you are jollified, and you want to go home and celebrate and dance the David dance for the achievement here today. But can it permit me to usher you officially into the Alumni Association, University of Liberia? To be an alumni is a sacred duty and responsibility that each of you have to exercise to ensure that you protect the continuity of your alma mater. The University of Liberia, for its origin, has lived up to its creed. This is evidenced by the 105th graduation ceremony that we are all observing here today. When our founding fathers established the University of Liberia, it was established under rather difficult circumstances that I know many at the time could not imagine the possibility of having a university. But today, here we are celebrating another graduation ceremony. So today, as you leave the walls of the university, we encourage you to serve as an ambassador, a brand ambassador for the university. You must ensure that integrity and reputation of the university is protected at all times. You must look back. You should not be one of those who will walk away from the university for good. You must always come back to ensure that you identify with some of the challenges and see how we all can collectively remedy some of the problems that the university is currently confronted with. Without your support, without our collective support, the university will continue to remain challenged. So today I urge you that as you leave, come back home. This is where it all started from. Some of you tomorrow will occupy bigger positions in society. Remember the University of Liberia. This is the place that it started from. So today, with the power in me invested as president of the Alumni Association, University of Liberia, I herewith receive you and officially induct you as member of the UR alumni community. And therefore, mandate you to exercise all duty opportunity to the status of a UR alumni. Go forth and serve the university through the communities. Serve the university through your churches. Serve the university through the schools, through your workplaces. Ensure that you distinguish yourself as a responsible and respectable graduates of the University of Liberia. Congratulations to all of you. I thank you all.
Thank you, President. There will be an announcement after the dissolution of the commencement. So if you don't wait to hear the announcement, you're going to forfeit some important part of this program for which you have come. We now turn to the UR chorus for the singing of the University Ode, followed by the national anthem of the Republic of Liberia. UR chorus. Let us all stand, please. Let us stand, please. Thank you. Thank you, the medical people, the law school. I hope you are also here. The graduate school in education, conflict resolution, and others, please, I hope you are following the protocol. The oath followed by the national anthem.